Yeah, baby. Is it working? Yes. I believe we are now live on Facebook. That's awesome. Okay, I'm going to turn that off because that's very off-putting. Hello, and welcome this morning to our recorded version of this orientation call for the Good Food Network. I'm really glad you're here. My name is Lucas Simmons. I'm your holistic nutrition practitioner. I'm getting a haircut this week. Please disregard my affixation with Hi, welcome to the Good Food Network. I am here to take you on a tour of what you can expect in the network this month. Here at Good Food Network, it is meant to, I built this network with you in mind. It is a one-stop shop for those people who are interested in putting and meandering through some ideas to put in place one thing at a time to help support health stuff you may have on the go. Everything I do is to reduce inflammation. A lot of people won't know that inflammation is an issue, unless you have chronic pain. Well, inflammation is an issue on so many levels. Inflammation is what drives all of our chronic diseases. Inflammation is involved in histamine issues and mast cell activation issues, in liver issues, hormonal things, blood sugar balancing things, like all of the things. Yeah, inflammation is at the root of everything. So I am here to talk about how pointed, deep nutrition can help you through keeping you well, reducing the incidence of chronic health issues, reducing the symptoms that you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, reducing, it's like an insurance policy. The way that you eat is this insurance policy to support your well-being long-term. We're talking quality of life, quantity of life as well. Both. And one may be more important for you than the other. I think both are valiant things to reach for. And good news, the work is the same for all. Yeah. So this month we are talking about the liver. So what we're going to do first on our call today, for those who are joining in live on Facebook, jot down your questions as we go through if you want, and I will get back to you. Once we wrap up the live recording of this, I will put the links to join us in the Good Food Network in the comments below. So if you want to be notified of that network link, just type in network in the comments as we're going through. And then I will make sure that you get a notice of it so you can remember that you want to go check out the network. Second of all, we're going to go through, this is a two-part thing. First, I talk about how to know if you have liver issues, and that'll help you decide, are you the person to come into the Good Food Network this month? We have a small gaggle of people in it already who've been in it for a long time now, and they're adding new pieces all of the time. We just wrapped up 2 months on the thyroid. Now we're going to focus on the liver for the next 2 months. So listen in first to see, is this something that would apply to you? Following that, I'm going to give you a tour of the network to show you where all the different parts are, especially for those new people who are going to be joining us, showing you how to find all of those moving pieces to the network. And I want to start with this. The network is a buffet, okay? It is a buffet. When you go to the buffet with your family, because it's a family celebration, Mother's Day, for example, and there's 10 of you at the table, a couple of families, grandparents. When you go to the Chinese buffet, does everyone take everything that's under the buffet on their plate? No. Every person at the table will have a different plate of things they have chosen, bits and pieces from different things on offer. So the Good Food Network is very much the same thing. You may take different pieces from under the glass than your neighbor would. Even though you're both working on the liver, you'll both take what you want from the network. I will say this, if you're in the network, it takes time. And nutrition and food and learning how food can be your ally takes time to learn. It's not just stop eating takeout and eat real food by, that's hard. And how do you achieve that? Well, you'll get some of those pieces in this month's Good Food Network. But know that my goal with the Good Food Network is to meet everyone, those who are new to understanding how food can support, and those who are looking to deepen their knowledge. They've already been on a journey, and now they want those level 400 pieces. So I have something for everybody in the network. I will tell you, if you can commit 30 to 60 minutes a week in the network, you're going to get your money's worth. The cost of one of the standalone classes that is on offer is $50. The cost of the network is $55. So not only do you have access to that class and 2 others that are also over $50, now you're having access to all of that plus extra bonus stuff. Okay. Let's start first with how to know if your liver is asking for help. Top 10 ways to know how your liver is asking for help. These are the 10 most common things I see in my practice. This is aside from the really obvious stuff like jaundice, hepatitis, liver cancer. Okay. How many of these do you say yes to? I want you to grab a piece of paper and jot down and put a check mark every time you go, oh yeah, that's me. Number 1, do you have skin stuff? This can be acne, hormonal acne, eczema, psoriasis, oily skin, hives, rashes on the regular, little bumps on your skin. Number 2, are you constipated? Oh no, I go once or twice a week, Luca. I'm not constipated. Do you know what constipation is? When you can't go at least once a day. If you're going less than once a day, honey, you are constipated. Further to that, if going poop once a day is really hard and arduous and is a chore, honey, you are constipated. Constipation, you need some liver help. Number 3, do you have sugar cravings? Number 4, do you have gallbladder stuff? Including, no, I don't have any gallbladder stuff because they took it out, so I don't have gallbladder issues anymore. Oh, honey, that was a symptom. There's something else going on, and taking out the gallbladder doesn't actually, it alleviates the pain, yeah, but it doesn't fix what was the issue in the first place. The issue in the first place was at the liver. Number 5, your immune system is working overtime. Autoimmune condition, you tend to have everything that comes in the door. Yep. Number 6, do you wake up in the middle of the night? There can be lots of different reasons why, but waking up in the middle of the night is a surefire liver call for help. Do you have fatty liver disease, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease? Do you have methylation issues? Not everybody who has methylation issues will know that it's a methylation issue, but for those who are well-versed in some of this deep science, they will know, yeah, I have an MTHFR gene mutation, so I can't methylate well. What are some of the telltale signs of methylation issues? Histamine troubles, slow detoxification. Has somebody told you your liver is sluggish? Are you slow to move through things? Do you feel like everything is hard? Is your period hard? Is detoxification hard? Do you have a lot to deal with? Yeah, that's methylation issues. Number 9, histamine issues. Liver is keenly involved. Number 10, period troubles. Period troubles, all kinds. Erratic periods, painful periods, a full 2 week leading up to the period where you're like, I can't function well. I really struggle with my mood. I really struggle with breast tenderness. I really struggle with cramps. I really struggle with fill in the blank. Do you have heavy flow? Do you have excessive clotting? Do you have clotting at all? I mean, it's normal to get clotting to some degree, but it's an indication that there is some liver work that needs to happen. So how many of these top 10 did you say yes to? If you have one check mark of any of these, I'm going to tell you, you are a contender to look after your liver. If anybody comes to me one-on-one in my clientele and says, this is what I want to actually resolve my, I wake up in the middle of the night all the time. I can guarantee you the first thing we're going to look at is the liver. Yeah. Somebody presents to me with histamine issues. The liver is going to be one of the pieces we're going to look at. So those are the top 10, but is that the only ones? No. I want to dive a little bit deeper. Let's see how many more check marks you get. Do you have diarrhea on a regular basis? Have you had your gallbladder taken out? Do you have a hard time handling fats? Are you writing down a check mark for each of these? Okay, good. Do you have an autoimmune condition? Do you have a chronic disease like type 2 diabetes, A cancer diagnosis, perhaps, thyroid issues. Do you have chronic pain? Yeah, I do. Do you have edema or swelling? That's another indicator of liver issues. Do you have inflammation? Most people equate inflammation with joint pain. It's so much more. It's like all of the things. Mood stuff, anxiety can be one way that inflammation shows up in the body. Are your cholesterol levels elevated, especially the LDL or VLDL? Are you a slow detoxifier? Do you get a lot of headaches and migraines? Do you have hay fever or allergies? Do you have heavy metal toxicity? Do you know that you worked in an environment where there were a lot of heavy metals? Maybe you were an engineer, maybe you are a potter, maybe you work in a factory where there's a lot of heavy metals. Yep. Are you a dentist? You're exposed to a lot of heavy metals. Yeah. Do you have stealth infections? Things like SIBO. Other ones, Epstein-Barr virus, or what do they call it? The kissing disease, mononucleosis when we were kids. Lyme disease, long COVID, actually. Yep. What else? Stealth infections. Stealth infections are like these low-grade chronic stressors on the system that are really hard to get a diagnosis for, but they wreak havoc. And it's kind of like they have this invisibility cloak for your immune system. Your immune system is like, I know you're there, but I can't see. Where are you? Where are you? It's that kind of thing. Do you have microbiome issues? Are you somebody who tries to take probiotics, but they don't work, or they make things worse? Are you somebody who's tried fermented foods, but then things got worse? Do you have leaky gut, permeability at the gut? A lot of people may not necessarily know they do, but maybe if you do, then hi, friend, you need some liver love. Is your metabolism off? Do you have cold hands and feet? Do you sport the best muffin top in town? No, I do. Sorry. But maybe you sport the second best muffin top in town. Yeah. Metabolic issues. Hair falling out. Are you happy, healthy, horny? And if you struggle with any of those, that's a metabolic issue. Yeah. Do you have low energy or fatigue? That can be brain fog, brain fatigue as well. Do you have low stamina, or do you feel stress keenly? Are you the person that needs to lead a pretty quiet life because you know that the world feels heavy? Do you have mood troubles? That can be either end of the spectrum with lower moods or depression, or anxieties where things are ramped up. Do you have estrogen dominance? Are you having a hard time through perimenopause and into menopause? Liver is keenly involved here. These are all indicators that your liver is working really, really hard. So if you said yes to even one of these, I know you'll get good use out of the GoodFood Network for the month. So there's so many different contributing factors at play here. Leave that to the side here. So when your body has a lot of this stuff to handle and work through, or the body's letting us know that something is up, this is when nutrition is just such a gentle, slow mover, right? It's one of these, if you're consistent with these pieces you're going to put in place, now you start to support the liver to better do the work that she wants to do. The better you can support the liver, the more she'll start to move stuff out. So it's not contributing to mood stuff. So it's not contributing to skin stuff. So you have a bit of an easier time with your period. So that hay fever is not as big of an issue this season. So that migraines are reduced. When you support the liver, now you're supporting the cleanup crew in the body. You're supporting hormonal balance. You're supporting blood sugar balance. You're supporting metabolism. You're supporting your immune system. Do you know that it's your liver that conducts your entire immune system response in the body? Yeah. Like your liver does like 400 jobs in the body. So when you support the liver, you are supporting those 400 jobs to work a little bit better. Because she will prioritize. Your liver will prioritize and put on the front burner and put on the back burner other things. Yeah. And some of the things on the back burner that go to the back burner make the front burner work even harder. She's looking out for you. You're not broken, like you are miraculously put together. I want to take you through what the Good Food Network looks like this month for those who are going to be joining us. So before we get into that, let me say, if you know that you said yes to at least one of the things that I've just mentioned, we need you in the Good Food Network. The cost is $55 a month. Stay in as long as you want. We're doing 2 months on the liver. There's going to be a combination of 3 different types of things in the network. I'll go through what those are in a minute. But when you join, you get instant access to it all. So soon as you say yes, you're in the front doors, we open the door, in you get, and lots of stuff for you to get to on day 1. And you are the gatekeeper. There are supports in place to help you achieve these pieces. We have office hours in here where you get to chat with me and we can make sense of things. And we can also set up your priorities for you. And I can help you really set your roadmap for what you want to do this month and keep you accountable too as the months go along. So, did you say yes? Come and join us in the network. Now you've joined the network. What does it look like? Let me share my screen and we'll head on over here. So once you join, it is on a portal. I call it the hub, actually, called Practice Better. That is the program. It's a Canadian program run by females, which makes me very happy. It's a Canadian thing. It is password protected, and we are compliant with all of the privacy legislation. This is why I host it here. It is a very utilitarian looking thing, but I will tell you it's pretty easy to get to once you figure it out. And I'm here to help you figure it out. So here we have your live sessions in the network. There's 3 components to it. There are live things to join. This orientation call is one that you can join. There are pre-recorded content or on-demand content, and there's written content. When it's a live session, they're all offered on replay as well. So if you can't join us live, know that you can watch them after the fact. And I will let you know when they're up. If you're joining us live, this is where you find your links. So for example, this orientation call we're doing right now, if you want to join, all you do is you click on that little camera icon and you get taken directly to the Zoom room, which is easy, which I like. Now to find the content of the program, you click on programs right here on the left-hand side of the page. And you look for the GF network. You want to look for the word network. This is where everything is. Once you click on it, you are in the Good Food Network. My network is dependent on your ability to scroll. Your ability to scroll will depend on where your cursor is. If you get on these modules, now you can scroll down and see all of those different moving pieces. I'm going to maximize my screen because it works a little bit better. So here we've got the different components, kind of the admin piece up at the top. We've got those live sessions that I was talking about. So those that you can join while they're happening. There is pre-recorded or on-demand content, if you will. Think of it like a streaming service where, oh, I want to watch a class on digestive detective and it's 9:17 on Monday morning, then that's when you'll watch it, isn't it? And we have some written content as well. So let me take you through what each of these components are. Scroll right up. So start here, kitten. What? You just joined the network? This is where you should start. Start Here Kitten has a couple of different components. There is a video here that takes you through how to utilize this, how to think about maximizing what you get out of the network for your learning style, and what we cover over the course of the month, how to make it work for you. When you scroll on down, this is also where you find the replay for the orientation call, the thing we're doing right now. So if you can't watch this whole thing and you want to come back because you're joining when you get home tonight, you want to come back to that orientation call, this is where you'll be able to click on this image to watch this orientation call again, the replay. And then we have different parts moving in that network. This gives you a description of all the different parts. There's the live sessions every month. So these are all written down in here. It tells you what it is, the name of it, what it is, who could take this, who could benefit from it. Is there a replay available? Always yes. And where to find it if you want to access the replay. Then we have the pre-recorded on-demand content, if you will. And here we have 3 parts: the real food reset, a vitality class, and a scratch cooking class. It tells you exactly what it is, who could take it, and where to find it. Scroll on down. Now we've got the written content. And here we have the schedule for the month. It tells you where to find it. The main topic for the month, we're talking about the liver. I'll show you where this is in a second. There are recipes that come up every month. And we have a whole block on eating with the seasons. So this is all found in that Start Here Kitten module. This gives you the lay of the land, sets up your roadmap so you can see what there is and how you'd be able to access it. So once we've looked at this, usually up here it'll say mark completed. I've already done that. So once you're done one of the modules, you can go ahead and click on mark completed right there. And that tells you you've already looked at that module. And that has a part to play because here it says completed. So now when I go back and I check in again in 3 or 4 days' time, I'll be like, did I look at this module already? Oh, it's marked completed. I must have done it. I can't mark, well, I won't mark completed for you. You have to do that part. Now let's look at the schedule and the checklist. These are all the different moving parts to the month. So we have the checklist here, or our schedule rather. Checklist is below. So this schedule tells you where those live sessions are happening. So our main topic is liver. We have the orientation call this morning. Every Thursday morning, we have a half-hour session called Food as Medicine. And I do it at 7, so you can join me for breakfast, because that's the nicest thing. We have a live class this month. It's called SOS Fatty Liver. There is a replay available. It usually comes up around noon or so later on that day. But if you can join us live, that is a really great class to come and join us. When you're in the network, you get to join this class. It's included in the price. I also have this class as a standalone. It's half the price of the network, just so you know. We also have office hours on Tuesdays, 2 Tuesdays a month. Those live office hours are where you can ask questions, where it's an accountability call, if you will. We check in to see, okay, last time you said you would work on breakfast. How's that going? What did you see shift? Oh, that tells me we need to shift this, try this, and then let's see what happens in 2 weeks. And then in 2 weeks, you come back. And it's a group thing, so everybody who's in the network can join on this. So there's some interesting conversations that we have there. If you can't join us live, I try to aim for the lunch hour. If you can't join us live, then you can also send in your questions, and there's instructions on how to do that. And then I'll record it, and you can watch the replay. I only record if people send me questions. I don't if you don't. Now, if you wanted to print one, you can download and print this calendar below to have on hand. All you need to do is to hit download. That goes to your downloads folder. Go to your downloads folder and print from there. We also have a checklist for every month. Look, it's the Good Food Network checklist. I'm a mom, can you tell? So here we have, for the month, these are all the different things you can do in the network. I encourage you to print this up. And yes, there is a printable version here. Download to your downloads folder, print from there. So here, when you're in the checklist, I encourage you to take a look at all of these different entries and then to decide what you're going to do first. Well, first I want to check out the month schedule and I want to print it. When you've printed it, you've already done it, so you already have a check mark you can mark, which is nice. But in this section on the left, write down the order of which you'd like to get through the content. And you'll decide on this as we go through. But these are the different pieces you can find. So we do have a whole written content module on the liver. We have part of a Real Food Reset video series called Digestive Detective. You have handouts and recipes. There is a Vitality Liver class. It's a whole 2-hour class. We have a cooking class, a 90-minute cooking class where you can make your own wontons. We have Food as Medicine classes on Thursday mornings. Then we have a live class every month. This month, it's SOS Fatty Liver. We have recipes of the month. We have the eating with the seasons part as well. And then we have those bi-weekly office hours on Tuesdays. So those are all the potential pieces you can do. Once you print this up and you're like, I'm not going to join the office hours. I don't want to talk to humans. I don't like humans. Okay. Scratch it off. Don't even give it a priority. Like, just take it off. You know what I would like to do first, Luca? I'd like to look at that 2-hour liver class. This is where you'll start. So you put number 1 right here in that column once you print it up. Oh, I think it'd be really fun to make my own wontons. I want a cooking class on a weekend. I'm going to put that as number 2. Fantastic. And so on and so forth. And as you do them, then you can check them off and leave this checklist next to your computer. It serves as a reminder to get back into the network. And it's a place where you can keep track of all of the pieces that you've done. And again, once you have finished this module and you know you've printed everything up, that's it, that's all. This has a bit more info on where to find things if you want. When you're done, you just click on Mark Completed, click Confirm to mark that this module is completed. You can still have access to it and see it. No worries, but it's marked as completed, which is kind of nice for you. Back to my program. There's a schedule and checklist marked completed. You can still click on view to see it if you want to. For example, if you lose that printout of the checklist you did, that's cool. Now, other pieces you will find in this, I'll call it the admin section. We have a whole module on the main topic of the liver. So this is where you will get, if you click on the title of it, you get a full rundown and an explanation. It's all text only. Who would benefit from a liver point of view? This is where we listed all of those symptoms. So those are the ones I just went through about 10 minutes ago. And then we start in on what are those solutions and what do we do when the liver is asking for help? These are all the pieces that I would do if you were one-on-one client. And these are the pieces you'll have access to in the GoodFood Network. All the symptoms listed above, they are the way that your body tells you that your liver is having a hard time making ends meet and she needs assistance. So that's what we do. We start to support all of these pieces. We support the liver with deep pointed nutrition. We address any nutrient deficiencies. Those are the topics of the Food is Medicine sessions on the Thursday mornings this month. We're going to supply anti-inflammatory ingredients to take some of the burden off of the liver. We also reduce stress in the body. We also do the same thing. It's reducing what is driving chronic disease. We are going to be doing all of that work also reduces inflammation. We support your microbiome because that is BFFs with your liver. And we also reduce your body's toxic burden. So that's another piece that we're going to be looking at. And when you do this work, now you get at what is driving those symptoms listed on top. When you do this work and the pieces and practical pieces that I promote in each of these live sessions and on-demand sessions, and the recipes are the practical exploration of it, now you start to reduce skin troubles. Now you reduce constipation. You alleviate constipation, actually. You start to alleviate hormonal imbalances. You start to support fertility, period issues, mood stuff, everything that hormones have a say in. You start to improve detoxification in the body. You start to improve methylation in the body. We'll, in fact, talk about methylation as a main topic in the month of June. So yeah, we're getting there. We're going to do lots of different pieces. Yeah, but Luke, I don't know where to start. Oh, this also gives you pointers on where to start. So read through this module. It is a reading one, so you'll need to sit down and have the mental capacity to do this. I know we live in a time where people can't read or not interested in reading. I'll never do this as a video. I want to meet everyone's needs of where they're at. And some people do really well with reading and others do really well with video. So that's why I do a video version of this orientation call. It is the visual version of what's in this module. So there you go. Where I think you'll get the most help in the network this month, the Vitality Liver class. All right, so now we finished this one. So we're going to mark completed. Yes, I completed it, Luca. Back to my program. Bing. Once you join the network, it is set up as a subscription service. There is a very easy way to get out. This tells you how to get out when you no longer want to be in the network. So I'll tell you, there's a 7-day trial period. When you join on a Monday, you will have until next Monday to give it a whirl. If you like it, you stay. If you don't, by Sunday, you send me a message and say, no, it's not what I thought it was. I reimburse you 100%. I even pay the fee that has been deducted from my payment service. So don't worry, I'll cover the costs. If all you're doing is coming in and printing everything and you're like, I know, I'll get the free stuff and then I'll leave in 6 days. Have at her, friend. You obviously need a lot of support. Let's give you the support you need. You have free access for a week and I'll reimburse you at the end of it. There will be zero cost to you. I know. Now let's get into the live sessions. You have 3 versions of live stuff. There is twice a month, bi-weekly office hours. So this really gives you the information on if you can join us, this is where you find the link. If you can't join us, this is what you need to do. This is how to get in touch, send questions, and this is where you will also get the live replay. So if you couldn't join live, but you want to watch what happened in the bi-weekly office hours, this is where you'll get the replay. I only record it if somebody is sending in a question and they can't join us live. And it's open to everybody. There's only about 2 people who come on a regular basis. So know that this in and of itself costs $120 to come see me one-on-one for an hour. So at the cost of $55 for the month, you're getting a really good deal. Make it a priority to join us on Tuesdays, 2 Tuesdays a month. We are doing, I have my schedule here. I printed it up. I did my own work. We are doing Tuesdays on May 9th and May 23rd at noon, Alberta time. So come and join us if you can. Okay. Food as medicine. Let's take a peek at what this is. We are doing 4 sessions on Thursday mornings. And again, you're going to keep scrolling till you get to the bottom. This gives you a bit of a rundown. These are the topics we are covering. We're covering liver and digestion connection. We're doing 3 herbs, roots, and shoots for liver loving. We're going to talk about the liver and inflammation connection. Each of these, we always have 3 solutions, 3 things to do. Then we're going to be chasing flavor for liver love. We're going to get it deeper into different types of flavors and how sour and bitter and spicy can wake up different pieces of the liver detox and function overall. So that's kind of a fun class. They're usually about 25 to 30 minutes in length. They're every Thursday at 7 a.m. There is a replay. The replay links are just below. Oh, look, it says video replays this month. Friend, everything is in here. I know. So here we're going to have all of these replay links. So for those who cannot join us at 7 a.m. on Thursday mornings, then you'll be able to watch the replay. Come join us, though. I'm going to tell you, I have a couple of folks who also come to these, and they're really lovely. We hang out a little bit afterwards and do a Q&A for anything that came up while the Food as Medicine session is on. And then we also use this as another accountability call, like checking in to see how stuff is going. I usually stick around for an extra half hour afterwards. Okay, so we're back in the main program. Let's go back to those live sessions. So we just went through Food as Medicine. Those are our Thursday morning things. We have a live class this month. Let's check it out. We're doing a class on fatty liver. Here we are. This is going, we're diving deep into exploring what is going on in the body when the liver starts to deposit fatty tissue in the liver. We're going to dive into why elevated fatty deposits in the liver are a telltale sign of liver and metabolic troubles. And we're going to get into why this is a life-saving mechanism and you're not broken. But we will also get into why you may want to address it and solutions to put in place for yourself. So it's happening Wednesday, May 17th at 9 a.m. If you can't join us and you're in the network, you get the replay. I know. So the replay link is down here once it is ready. Okay. I'm going to go back to the program. Those are our live sessions for this month. And again, replay available for all of these. Pre-recorded content. So this is the on-demand or like the sort of streaming services, much like Netflix. It's Netflix, but with a health spin on it. I feel like there should be a ping and a little glitter on my tooth when I say that. Now, first up, we have a half-hour class on Digestive Detective. So we keep scrolling through. This was a program I put together in 2019. that I now do one module a month. And so we're doing a full year where there's a different module every month. Last month, we did the Food as Medicine Toolkit. This month, we're doing Digestive Detective. What does the Digestive Detective look like? You are what you assimilate, not you are what you eat, or you are what you eat eats. You are what you assimilate. Can you break your foods down into nutrients, and can you get those nutrients into your system? When there's liver issues, getting certain nutrients, especially minerals, into the system are really tricky. So we're going to get into solutions here, and we're going to don our detective hats and see how to support your ability to digest like a pro. That's a 34-minute video. And then there's a couple of extras that link out once you watch the video. You'll see how it makes sense. There's a worksheet and a couple of recipes to get you going. So make sure you print them up. Oh yeah, everything I do has low histamine alternatives. 80% of my clientele is histamine people, so know that we've got you covered too. So this is up until the end of June. So you've got 2 months to get through this one. All right, let's keep scrolling down. We've done the live sessions. Now we're into that pre-recorded or on-demand content. That was the Digestive Detective. Now let's get into the liver. This is a 2-hour standalone class that on its own is $50. So Vitality Liver, so many different things. You are here because you are in the Good Food Network, or you said one of these things. Lots of different potentials. Blood sugar imbalances. Are you hangry? Do you struggle with metabolism or chronic constipation? Do you have skin, thyroid, adrenal, sleep woes? Do you have a diagnosis of an autoimmune condition or chronic disease? Do you have gallbladder issues? Do you have the diagnosis of fatty liver disease or maybe another liver-specific diagnosis? Are you interested in helping prevent chronic diseases from settling in? Do you want to move them out? This is where you'll start. So this gives you the goals of the class. And then we have the handouts and there's a recipe. And keep scrolling and you've got the video content. So there's the first part of the video and there's part 2. And then we've got part 3. I can't remember how many there are, but you can jot down as you go through. If you only have time to watch one video at a time, mark where you are on your handout because there's a worksheet and then come back to it when you've got time. And here we've got links out to different things. And those make sense once you watch the class. This is your to-do piece at the end of the class. And there we are. So that is our 2-hour liver class. So that is part of the pre-recorded content. There's a third part to the pre-recorded content, and it is a cooking class. So we do a different one every month. This one sticks around just for a month because cooking is fun, and let's shift it and have some fun times. This month, there's a different one every month. This month, we're doing a DIY wonton challenge. So I want you to think of this as Master Chef. You have a basket of ingredients, 3 or 4 different things. And then we give you ideas on how to make a dumpling. You can also do a spring roll. You can also do a total paleo version of it if you are off of grains right now. So we meet all of the dietary things. We had variations on this for vegetarians, vegans, no dairy, no grains, no gluten, and low histamine. We have options for everybody. Everybody comes to our table, just so you know. It is a class I put together for junior high kids, and it's a class I used to teach in person. And then at the start of the pandemic, my daughter and I decided to run it on Friday afternoons, and we made it available to all of the kids at her junior high at the time. My husband, who was a junior high teacher in the same school, and another junior high teacher, Jack, was there. So the 4 of us, or Mr. Searchfield, I guess I should say, the 4 of us every Friday for 10 Fridays in a row met up. We had 72 people in the class, and I managed to hit record. And I thought, oh, maybe one day I'll use it. I did. It's in the network. And now you get to cook with me and my 14-year-old kiddo, who's super cute at the time. She's now 18. But this was her favorite class. And we built it with this concept that there was the potential of having different groups of people at home. It was built with junior high kids, palettes at play for sure, but this is real food. This is how we start making takeout at home kind of thing is what I like to think of it as. So here we built it where you could have one person or two or three or four. And here we walk you through, if you have 1 to 2 people participating, then choose one basket. If you have 2 to 4 people participating, choose 2 baskets and have a cook-off and then a taste test at the end. If you have more than 4 people participating, you can choose as many baskets as you wish. And if you choose if you have 2 people choosing the shrimp one, you will have 2 different end results. And that's where the fun starts. So once you have all your ingredients at the ready, your screen is set up on a perch, then you can head to the video class. And this is the 90-minute class. Super fun class, very DIY and super fun. We had a riot with these classes, and that's my kiddo at the time. You have your printouts at the bottom, your grocery list. I'll show you what that looks like. So we walk you through how to do your groceries for this class. Let's make it a bit bigger so you can see it. So this week's topics, we're doing DIY wontons, or this month, make your own wontons, Canada Chop Canada edition, and make a dipping sauce to go with it. So here we walk you through how many people you've got, then it'll tell you how many baskets. So you could choose basket 1, basket 2, basket 3, or basket 4. And we have alternatives: gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free, paleo, vegetarian, and vegan. And so we walk you through all of these pieces you're supposed to get. So you pick your basket and then you use other things that are in the pantry. If you need to alternate and you don't want to use ground beef because you want to go veggie or vegan, then you can try mashed chickpeas. If you don't want to use beet cheese, then you can go for nutritional yeast instead. And so on and so forth. And then you build your own grocery list for your sauce components. And there's a video that goes with this, by the way. Or sorry, there's a handout on your recipes. Then we give you a list of equipments and tools to pull out so that you have that ready. Once you have that ready, you could start your class. And then some notes. So for our paleo friends, use things you have on hand, things to do before we start the class. Make sure you have your ingredients, your tools, and your equipment ready. Set up your computer, and then when you're ready to go, let's have at it. This. And then here are the actual recipes. So this is a separate document. Print this one up. And then your requirements. Make sure you read through this before we get started on the class. It gives you instructions. We have some tips. Turn your oven on to 400 as we start the class. Line your cookie sheet with parchment paper. Be sure to keep in mind what flavors you want to feature here. So the goal with this class was to get people to feel comfortable to cook a little bit more from the hip. And you get this class when you join the network, guys. Yes. Okay. And then recipes. And then we give you, so the first one is cheeseburger wontons for the first basket. And then there's different kinds of sauces we have in here if you want to try. And then the second and third and fourth baskets, you'll come up with your own ideas. So that's kind of a really fun class. And Eliza shared with me the other day that it's actually her favorite class. So DIY wontons, that's in there. So those are the 3 pre-recorded or on-demand classes. The Real Food Reset, where we're talking about digestion, the Vitality 2-hour class on liver, and a 90-minute cooking class. Now, what else is there? There is a little bit more written content. We have recipes available every month. Let's look at what they are. We click on, and you'll see the actual recipes here. These are the ones we are doing this month: red velvet latte, beet kvass, roasted apple carrot lentil soup, deviled eggs, and homemade mayo, because it's the season. And these are awesome. Yeah, mayo is amazing for the liver, only if you use certain ingredients, and quick cooked greens. So you download and print them here below. So again, download to your computers, download folder, print from there. So those are up for that month. So make sure you print those up before they disappear. Scrolling back down to the written content, you also have a whole module on the season. This one's going to change on June 1st. So spring is the season we're in right now. It feels like summer here in Alberta. I don't know about where you are, but this guy, we go into why I think eating with the seasons is one of the ways that we can support wellness. There's something about inserting ourselves back into nature. When we do that, we reduce what's driving inflammation. Part of our inflammation comes from being separated from nature. When we start to eat along with the seasons, it is one of the ways I propose we get back in line with nature. So there's lots of handouts. There's a couple of handouts and recipes here. You have a handout here, for example. We have here different foods to focus on for the season of spring. Superb foods, teas, roots, and shoots, herbs and spices. And then we have liver supportive foods for the season, the main organ, the energy of the season, and then 5 different things to think about and ways to help you move through this season. So I like to make sure that we have a little bit of everything for different people. We have different recipes in here as well. Here's the spring recipe bundle with a nice little robin. I have a carrot and ginger Japanese dressing, a Buddha bowl, and that's part 2 of the Buddha bowl. And then part 3 of the Buddha bowl. And then we have hot chocolate clock and ways to elevate it based on the season or whatever you've got on the go. So this is stuff that you want to make sure that you print up. And then there's more recipes down there if you need them. And that is the last piece of the network this month. So again, I'm going to scroll through to give you the lay of the land. First up, for those who are going to join us in the network, you're going to start at Start Here, Kitten. I'm nothing if not obvious. These are the administrative pieces. Go through these one at a time. When you're ready, dive into the network. You have live sessions that are in-person things. They're all on Zoom. You can join from wherever, and each of them have a replay if need be. We have pre-recorded on-demand content. This is the stuff you're going to plug away at 30 to 60 minutes a week. Make sure you're getting into the content. In fact, start with this 2-hour vitality class. It's the best part of the network. Then we have that written content, the recipes and ways to think about moving through this season. And that, friends, is the Good Food Network for the month of May. I hope that you choose to join us. We have lots of stuff. Again, we're going to be talking about inflammation and the liver. We'll be talking about fatty liver. We have a whole 90-minute class on the fatty liver. We'll be doing a 30-minute session on why flavor is so important to the liver and how to go about it and how to think about it. And we'll get into the practical work of this. And then we get into liver and digestion and how they're intricately linked and how to support those two. And we'll also, of course, get into roots and shoots and teas to support the liver, because that's one of my favorite ways to support the liver. It's easy and it's doable, and you probably already have stuff in your pantry. So if you have any questions, I encourage you to jot them down in the comments below. For those who are going to be joining us in the network, I'll see you there. Can't wait. Our first live session is this Thursday, May 4th. We're doing liver and digestion connection. So I'll see you there. Come and join us. Bring your breakfast. Your cameras are off anyway when you first come in. So don't worry about it. Stick around if you want to, or leave if you need to get to work. That's cool. Have us playing in the background, us, the royal us, playing in the background while you're getting breakfast ready. Put a little sticky note over top of your camera if you're going to be getting dressed, just in case. But I turn all of your cameras off automatically. You can't turn them on anyway while I'm doing that session, so don't worry. There you have it. Look forward to seeing you in the network. I know it's going to be a really delicious month. And liver is the organ of spring. Right now is the absolute best time to look after your liver. And I'm open to hearing what you want to talk about. That's what this network is for. It's built with you in mind. Where else do you need support when it comes to the liver? Do you want help with detox? Do you want help with reducing toxins in your environment? Do you need help with digesting of fats? Let's make those some of the topics we cover in the network as well. When you're in, you get to ask all the questions you want. So this I built for those who thought, I don't want to work one-on-one with Luca. That's too intimidating. If you are self-motivated and you have 30 to 60 minutes a week to dedicate to diving into the content and you want to put things in place, come and join us in the network. I cannot wait to see you there. Take care. Salut. À bientôt.